Yo Pierre, you wanna come out here?
Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Yo Pierre, your favorite weekly Arsenal podcast. Every week, a group of gunners from different parts of the world will discuss, analyze, and argue over topics related to our favorite club, Arsenal, in Tonglish, a mix of English and Tamil. We have great episodes every week, so listen on. Hello and welcome to the next episode of Yo Pierre, your favorite weekly Arsenal podcast. Joining me today, as usual, are Rohit and Arvind, and we also have Prasna joining us today. Hey guys.
Hello.
Hi Arun. Hi Rohit.
So, not a lot happened over the last week. I know things happened, like we had a couple of games, but in terms of like things outside of the club, you know, the external noise that we always have and we always keep talking about, nothing of that sort happened. So, relatively quieter on that side. So, we'll just be discussing about the Leicester game and the Dundalk game that happened today. And then we'll be going down to the United game, you know, just a preview for the United game. And with the Leicester game, we do have a lot of talking points. We did have a lot of things in there. So let's go in. So first one, the Leicester game. So boys, என்னெல்லாமோ ப்ரெடிக்ட் பண்ணோம், என்னெல்லாமோ சொன்னோம், 2-1, 3-1 கிட்டத்தட்ட வந்து அதெல்லாம் கையில பிடிக்க முடியல, அந்த லெவல்ல இருந்தோம். and then this happened. Like, so were we robbed or were we punished? எப்படி சொல்லலாம் அதை?
Of course we were punished. We played so bad. We couldn't finish our chances. We did not have luck our way either. But Anna, I wouldn't blame luck in this instance because we had so many chances. We were so flat in the game, almost throughout the game. And that is just like you cannot forgive that. And we deserved to lose that game, and we did not show anything otherwise that would have said, oh, we should have won this game, and we got robbed of 3 points. We didn't create squat, and because we were playing such a high line, all they had to do was play a ball over the top. And of course, we had our Mr. Mistake and Mustafi, who came in mid-game, and that's all Leicester needed to put the game past us.
So they came up with a very clear game plan, right? Their game plan was very clear. அவங்க வந்து 3-6-0 மாதிரி ஆடுறாங்க. It is like almost 6 midfielders and then like 3 at the back. Like they were like no way in any contention to win the game or to score. I mean, they were just waiting for the chance when the Wadi would be coming on, because in the first half they didn't even start Iniacho. So they didn't go with a plan of having a striker. So they were just bailing on whatever. I mean, they were like waiting for the wave after wave, and we were so what do you call? நம்ம இருக்கிற chances வந்து நம்ம convert பண்ணலனா we are going to suffer a lot. We won't even finish in top 10 because நம்மளோட creativity ரொம்ப போரா இருக்கு. So இருக்கிற chances, நம்மளுக்கு கிடைக்கிற chances வந்து கண்டிப்பா நம்ம வந்து we have to convert it. Otherwise we are going to make ourselves very difficult for us. So லெஸ்டர் வந்து ரொம்ப கிளியரா இருந்தாங்க. அவங்க கேம் பிளான் வந்து ரொம்ப சிம்பிள். ஜஸ்ட் வெயிட். கண்டிப்பா நம்ம ஏதாவது ஒரு மிஸ்டேக் பண்ணுவோம். அதாவது அவன் see, I'm not a big fan of Brendan Rodgers. I don't think anyone would agree with me on Brendan Rodgers because அவன் வந்து பெரிய மாஸ்டர் கிராஃப்டர் அது மாதிரிலாம் ஒண்ணுமே இல்லை. அவன் சிம்பிளா ஒரு பிளான போட்டான். அந்த பிளான கூட நம்மளால வந்து இது பண்ண முடியலன்னு தான் எனக்கு ரொம்ப ரொம்ப கவலையா இருக்கு.
Okay, I think if you're looking at it, right, it was our game to lose. Leicester did not come and win it.
That is very true. They didn't come to win it. They never came to win. They came just wait. அதுக்கப்புறம் நம்ம வந்து வாடி வந்தப்புறம் ஏதாவது ஒரு
we never learned Vardy's lesson. Like he's like consistently scored like against us. Like he's like one of those like Kane's. I hate to say it. Kane also scores against us like pretty frequently. So you need to know how to like tame these strikers. Like பஸ் வச்சு உட்காந்து வைக்கணும்னு சொல்ல, பட் அட்லீஸ்ட் லைக் stop the attacking threat. They're not multifaceted, multi-dimensional like Aguero. They're like just have few like quick thing surprises and marking. I mean, Mustafi. That was. I mean.
Hey,
he's
அந்த
not a
ஃப்ரேம்ல இல்லடா அவன் அந்த பால் வந்து வரும்போது he was not even in the frame, like leave about
Yeah.
handling him, அவன் ஃப்ரேம்ல இல்ல. So
இது எப்படி இருந்தாலும் like what about the chances that we missed in the first half just ஒரு இது சொல்லணும்னா வந்து இந்த கேம் வந்து I don't know if you guys would agree with me. I thought this game the first half in this game was probably the best that we've ever played under Arteta. Avlo, like it was so many shots, we had so many shots, we didn't convert like anything, but we had so many shots. The gameplay there was more structured, more assured, and the party's presence made a whole lot of difference. So on the point like what about the goal that was the VAR ruled out goal? Like, what do you guys think? Like, would that goal have made a difference in the outcome of the game, dude?
For sure, it would have had a difference. And that goal happened at around the 8th minute, and that would have given us a huge, front foot advantage there. And on the goal, we would have kept on attacking more. If we saw a comparison of the game before in the previous season, right after the lockdown, in the Maradona, we would have gone in front like around the 20th minute. We had a few good chances. We would never finish them off. And then second half, Nanketia would get a red card, and after that, it's a 10-man which we would keep chasing the game, and we ended up, sharing the points. But in the idela I think we would have learned that lesson. We would have been much more aggressive, and of course, Thomas Partey in the middle added that much more stability and metal. And we would have definitely seen those 3 points had that first goal stood. But even otherwise, I thought we created, like Arun, you said, a lot more chances than we usually do. Statistically, this game, first half, we've created far more than what we used to create. Our expected goals in the first half is usually around 0.3 to 0.4. In the game, our first half expected goal was 0.89, which means we should have definitely had a goal. And that wasn't that final shot was what it was.
So, and the VAR ruling out, was it justified? Do you think it was justified? Like, what was going on? I spoke with a lot of people. I saw so many things, and it never seemed like it was an offside match. Like, it was standing so far away from him, the goalkeeper, and it was ruled out offside. Do you think it was like proper and justified?
That was bullshit. The VAR thing, like you are never offside from a corner. You're never offside from a throw, and these are just like general rules.
Yeah, and they both were not impeding the keeper. keeper எங்கயோ பாக்குறான், அவன் வந்து சாக்கா எங்கோ நிக்கிறான், ஒபாமெங் எங்கயோ நிக்கிறான். சம்பந்தமே இல்லாம வந்து there was no obstruction. கண்டிப்பா there was no obstruction. First of all, if you have seen what is his name, Casper Michael, like அவன் எங்கயோ இந்த பக்கம் நிக்கிறான், and the ball was like this side. There was like no way that it shouldn't have been ruled out. So Arteta is right in telling what the hell was the decision.
See, and the other thing is when you miss so many chances, when you have a goal ruled out, it just changes like the mental complexion of these players.
That's true. So அதனால தான் நான் வந்து first கேட்டேன், were we robbed or were we punished?
All that aside, given the number of chances, we should have had more goals. And I'll stand by the fact what I said before, like it was our game to lose and we lost it.
Okay, so it was our game to lose and we lost it. That's true. Even if you discount all this, the goal being allowed and all that, like I said, we should have scored. We should have converted more chances, and everything was kind of working in our favor, at least for the first 45 minutes. Now, usually we give so much of stick to Lewis, but he was running the show during the first half, during the game. But and his importance all of a sudden open up when he left. So on the point was that the only reason why things went wrong in the second half, do you think? Or like what was going on in the second half? Like how could a team that played so well in the first half play like shit in the second half? Were you able to believe what you were saying? Because I was not.
See, Leicester on the 0-0 half time, that itself is a win for them. அதுக்கு தான் அவங்க ஆடினாங்களே. லைக் 0-0 இருக்கும்போது they were very confident. Like அவங்க வந்து they were like very proud that they were able to make it 0-0 until half time because they didn't have a single shot on target until half time, right? Leicester didn't have a single shot. We had like 11 shots or something like that. We out of which 2 were on target. So அவங்க அங்க போகும்போது they were more confident bunch. And I don't know what kind of pep talk Arteta gives, but it sucks. Seriously, I mean, like seriousா வந்து அவன் என்ன பெப் டாக் கொடுக்குறான்னு தெரியல இன்டர்வல்ல. அதுக்கப்புறம் வந்து there was absolutely no game plan after that. See, the only plus point we can take of the second half was Partey's influence. He grew into the game. Like slowவா வந்து Parteyயோட இது வந்து நமக்கு கொஞ்சமா பார்க்க முடியுது. Like and first halfல வந்து KT's performance was absolutely brilliant. அவன் வந்து லெஃப்ட் ஹேண்ட் ஃபிளாங்க்ல வந்து தாறுமாறா ஆடினா. அதாவது அவன் கிராசஸ் வந்து ஏதாவது ஒரு கிராஸ் ஆவது நம்ம கன்வெர்ட் பண்ணிருக்கணும். லைக்
ஹெட் பண்றது ஒன்னு ஓவர்
சத்தியமா ஐ மீன் லைக் அவன் சரியா செம்மையா ஆடினா. அண்ட் சாக்கா வாஸ் லைக் ஐ மீன் லைக் நல்லா இது பண்ணாங்க, டவுட் ஹெல்ப் பண்ணாங்க. செகண்ட் ஹாஃப்ல வந்து சீரியஸா அந்த 68th மினிட் அந்த பிளடி தட் கோலம் கேம் ஆன் அப்பவே நமக்கு தெரிஞ்சிச்சு கண்டிப்பா. அண்ட் நம்ம நேரம் கரெக்டா அந்த நேரம் பார்த்து லூயிஸ் வந்து இன்ஜூர் ஆயிட்டு முஸ்தாபி வந்தப்புறம் அவன் வந்து பிரெண்டன் ராஜர்ஸ் வந்து இது வந்து 25% ஃபிட்டா இருந்தாலே போதும் வாடி அவன் அனுப்பிச்சு விட்ட கோல் போடுவான்னு போட்டிருப்பான். இதுக்கெல்லாம் ஃபுல்லி ஃபிட்லாம் வாடி தேவையில்லைன்னு. Bloody hell. அந்த ரெண்டு so his substitutions were 3 like Brendan Rodgers substitution அந்த ரெண்டு பேர் தான் கம்பைன் பண்ணி கோல் போட்டாங்க. And that ball from what is his name, Tielemans, right? That ball from Tielemans was very good. See, இதுதான் நடக்க போகுது against oppositions who are going to sit back, who are going to defend for like 8 minutes. ஒரு பால் நம்மளுக்கு மேல வந்துனா and we have the kind of defenders like Mustafi or anyone like except Gabriel. I don't think any of other defenders are like capable enough of handling it. See, அந்த ஒரு பால் பாஸ் பண்ணும்போது கூட Gabriel had signaled to Mustafi that you bloody man mark வாடி அவன் கூடயே இரு, அவன் கூடயே ஓடு. நான் எங்கேயோ இருக்கு கிட்ட கூட இல்லாம it was not at all Gabriel's fault. It was just Mustafi's fault.
ஏதாவது வித்த பண்ணி கோல் போட்டுனா கூட ஒரு இதெல்லாம் பேசிக் 101 இதெல்லாம் டிஃபெண்டிங்ல அதுதான் கடுப்பா இருக்கு.
Exactly.
So okay,
Arun, going back to இது that Luis substitute பண்ணதுக்கு அப்புறம் see நம்ம ஸ்குவாட்ல வந்து இல்ல there are a lot of like single points of failure, you know, like இப்போ வந்து இல்ல ஒத்தனை தூக்கின உடனே சரி அந்த வால் உடஞ்ச மாதிரி நம்ம அந்த கேம் ஆஃப் த்ரோன்ஸ்ல அந்த உடஞ்ச மாதிரி வால் உடஞ்ச மாதிரி தான் அதெல்லாம் அந்த மாதிரி ஸ்குவாட் இருக்கும்போது நம்ம என்ன பண்றதுன்னு வந்து நம்மளால வந்து யோசிக்கதான் முடியும். எப்படி இந்த மாதிரி இப்போ வந்து இல்ல முஸ்தாஃபியோட எரர் ப்ரோன் நேச்சர் நமக்கு தெரியும், மிட்ஃபீல்டர்ஸ்க்கு தெரியும், கேப்ரியலுக்கு தெரியும். ஓகேவா, அவனையே நம்ம திருப்பி திருப்பி பிளேம் பண்ணுமா, நான் அவர் கவர் பண்ற மாதிரி ஆடணுமா? யூ ஹேவ் டு பிளே டு ஹிஸ் ஸ்ட்ரெங்த்ஸ் அண்ட் யூ ஹேவ் டு பிளே டு ஹிஸ் வீக்னஸஸ். But when you put Mustafi, I know he's a center back. கை தூக்க புரியுது.
முஸ்தாஃபிக்கு ஸ்ட்ரெngth
ஹெடர் கொஞ்சம் பண்ணுவான்டா. I'm just saying அவனோட ஸ்ட்ரெngth and weaknesses தெரிஞ்சிட்டு மத்தவங்க பிளேயர்ஸும் டீமா ஆடணும்.
Okay, so இது actually I was about to ask the next question. You lead ஆயிட்டே போகுது because I wanted to ask you, Arvind. Rohit spoke about the gameplay and like the way in which it was very vulnerable as soon as Lewis left, and Prasna brought out the point that okay, irukkiradhu ivlavudhaan, like he's having Lewis and his game was like around Lewis. So இப்போ ரீசெண்டா as soon as we lost that game, or as usual வர knee-jerk reaction மாதிரி ஒன்று, it was all over social media, it was all over like everybody was calling for like ஒரு Arteta out ட்ரெண்ட் ஆன மாதிரி people were actually talking about it. இவ்வளவு சீக்கிரம் like I said, I felt it was very knee-jerk at that point. So what do you feel? Like, do you think all this noise on social media and like about the manager and the gameplay, is it actually justified?
No, absolutely not. We are a project that is not like நாளைக்கு சரியா போற ப்ராஜெக்ட் மாதிரி இருந்தா சொல்றதுல ஒரு நியாயம் இருக்கு. We finished 8th last season. Like anything above 8th at this point is probably forward progress, and we're already much ahead than what we were same point last season. We are not languishing in the relegation zone. That itself is a big plus. And we haven't substantially improved our squad. We've gotten very few people in our squad. The dead weight in our squad is still there, which was evident with Mustafi's mistake the second half of the Leicester game. And the first 3 games that we played Premier League, we beat West Ham, we beat Sheffield, we beat Fulham. Fulham was a clinical victory, but West Ham and Sheffield games were very similar to Leicester. They were low block games. The opponents just put defenders upon defenders in the back of their their D, and we had to find a way to break it. And we tried to do the same thing in the Leicester game as well. We were a lot more fluid than what we were used to in the first two games against West Ham and Sheffield. But unfortunately, it wasn't meant to be. And that one mistake, Nala, it's unfortunate that it happened. And I don't think we can expect anything else from Mustafi. But that's what it is. I think it's a massive overreaction calling for or calling it out, saying Arteta out at this stage of you're basically creating noise that's not necessary. We already have a lot of it.
So that's right. It is a project. It is a project that is in progress. So it will definitely take time. You have a good point in saying that anything above 8 would be good. Rohit, இப்போ இந்த noise வந்து like all this noise like that we are talking about, Arteta out and all these things trending. Is this? I know it's not like good for the club as a whole, but do you think it affects the players and it affects the manager, especially given how well they are progressing at this point?
No, I think the players should be professional enough to understand that these are just external noises and it should not impact them mentally. I mean, that is one thing which they should be like at the level of game they are playing. Like, I don't think it should impact them a lot. I mean, every time the players there was like discontent because there were a lot of stupid things which he used to bring about in the practice field, which kind of infuriated the players, and players used to mock him in terms of his drills and all that. So that happened only after like 1 year. Like first year, I don't think there was not many discontent. Anna, once we started losing and once we didn't have the confidence and once he did that changes of dropping Ozil and making Torreira play in number 10 position, அந்த மாதிரி மங்கி ட்ரிக்ஸ் எல்லாம் பண்ண அப்புறம் தான் பிளேயர்ஸ்க்கு வந்து அவன் மேல இருக்கிற கான்பிடன்ஸ் கொஞ்சம் கொஞ்சமா குறைஞ்சு இதாச்சு. பட் ஐ டோன்ட் திங்க் ஆர்டெட்டா இஸ் தட் ஃபூலிஷ் இனஃப் லைக் எமரி. லைக் டெஃபினட்டா அவன் அவ்வளவு ஃபூலிஷ் இல்ல கண்டிப்பா. அண்ட் யூ ஷுட் கிவ் டெஃபினெட்லி கிரெடிட் டு ஆர்டெட்டா. அவன் இவ்வளவு எங்கேஜ்ல வந்து அவன் இவ்வளவு தூரம் பண்றதே வந்து பெரிய விஷயம். ஸோ ஐ டோன்ட் திங்க் noise is going to affect him in any way. Having said that, in the varam Willian has told that he's kind of confused in terms of the tactical approach by Arteta. So there was an article which was published where Willian has said that avanoda role vandu avan clear different. Ena 4 match avan different positions aadi iruka Willian. So he is like kind of confused. Like but Chelsea la irukumbodhu he used to play only in the flanks. Only 1 or 2 matches he used to play in number 9 false 9 position. இங்க நம்ம வந்தப்புறம் வந்து ஐ மீன் லைக் அவனுக்கு வந்து என்னமோ ரொட்டேட்டிங் பால் மாதிரி இங்க அங்க சுத்திட்டு இருக்கான்.
அவனை வச்சுட்டு என்ன பண்றதுன்னு தெரியல போல் இருக்கு ஆர்டெட்டாக்கு.
அது இன்னொரு விஷயம், அது கண்டிப்பா இன்னொரு விஷயம். ஆனா அவன் என்ன சொல்றான்னா எனக்கு வந்து டாக்டிக்கலா கன்ஃபியூசிங்கா இருக்கு, இவன் என்ன பண்றான்னு சொல்லிட்டு எனக்கு கன்ஃபியூசிங்கா இருக்கு, என்ன பொசிஷன் ஆட வரான்னு சொல்லிட்டு. சோ இந்த மாதிரி வந்து சில நாய்ஸஸ். அண்ட் ஒன் மோர் திங் என்னன்னா லைக் இப்ப இந்த ஓசில் வந்து அவன் வந்து சும்மா இருக்க மாட்டேன்றான். அவன் சைட் லைன்ஸ்ல உட்காந்துட்டு he is creating more and more trouble, but we don't have to talk about him. But ஆட விட்டுறலாம். But definitely இந்த noise வந்து it is just temporary. Once Arteta starts winning games, definitely this noise will go away. I don't think this is like a big thing. எப்படி எந்த noise இருந்தாலும் we have to give time for him to like slowly rebuild the squad and then slowly like gain confidence of the players, and then we see நம்ம FA Cup win பண்ணதே பெரிய விஷயம்.
Yeah, realistic expectation.
That itself is a huge leap in faith in Arteta.
That's true. So இப்போ வந்து we've been talking about personal, like you were the one who brought this point up, the players வந்து the quality of players that we have, and like the quality of players that are on the pitch, and if something happens to one of them, they have to leave, and the substitute, the bench is not strong, it's not good enough. But we do have quite a few youngsters in the bench, and at no point are we seeing these guys come onto the pitch. Like apart from Saka starting, where you don't see like Willock or you don't see like Eddie, you don't see any of these guys. You don't see Nelson, or you don't see even AMN. Was seeing him play in game is becoming a rarity now. Is this like an indication of Arteta not trusting his youngsters, or is it like going more for experience over this, or people not suiting his system?
I think he's trying to find his good mix. He does have avana vandu youngsters illane solla mudiyadhu. If you look at Saka, and these are like players whom like I don't want to put too many youngsters in because we've been burnt with like having a lot of youngsters in the team and like having egg in our face. I don't want to go there, but I think you guys know what I'm talking about.
நிஜமாவே இப்ப ஸ்பார்க் இல்லன்னு ஃபீல் பண்றியா?
See, it's about getting the rhythm. It's about getting what his first team is.
ஸ்பார்க் ஃபீல் பண்றே சொல்றது நீ
இப்போ எக்ஸாம்பிளுக்கா விலாக் அண்ட் ரீஸ்லாம் எடுத்துன்னு வரேன்னு வச்சுக்கோங்க. அந்த கேம் வந்து தர்மடி வாங்குறோம்னு வச்சுக்கோ. People will have an adverse reaction again. He should have gone to the expert players or experienced players or like people or seasoned players. So I think he's trying out his what do you call his most preferable option on the cards. Let me start off with the experienced players. Let's see what they bring to the table, and then he'll like start going to the next round. Like let's see what the next mix is if I'm not getting results. Starting early in the stage and so I feel like he's holding the youngsters like for like another game plan or another strategic move. And I don't think Arteta is the type of person who's like not willing to play youngsters, if that answers your question.
Yeah, that pretty much answers my question. So Arvind, next question for you. நம்ம ஒரு இன்ஸ்டன்ஸ் என்னன்னா, this is like I said the best first half, but அதே பாயிண்ட்ல வந்து this was the first time we actually started with the 4-3-3 this season. நம்ம வந்து யூசுவலா வந்து ஆஃப் த பால் ஆன் த பால் தான் அப்போ ஸ்டார்ட் பண்றப்ப 3 ஸ்டார்ட் பண்ணுவோம் at the back. We started 4-3-3 and mid வந்து it was a flat Partey, Xhaka and Ceballos இருக்காங்க. There are all three of them are capable of creating chances, but how come nothing happened in the second half after Lewis left when we have these guys like okay, it's not a number 10, but like how come there was nothing happening, nothing was going on?
Okay, so one of the underrated qualities of Lewis or a game one day, his ability to dictate the play from the back. If you see right from when we get the kickoff, he plays the first, receives the ball, plays the ball right across field to the left wing, and adu vande it opens up the field massively, especially at a time when we are creating from the right side. All the players are on the right side and he plays a cross field ball to the left wing, which is pretty much open. And the play vandu he completely missed after Mustafi came on. And so, to answer your question about youngsters chance kadaikalaya abdine, I would definitely say no. He's Arteta is giving chances where he can to youngsters as much as he can. Nketiah is what, 21. Saka is a teenager. Willock today was really good. Amen was 22 right now. So Nicholas Pepe is 23. So I wouldn't say he's not giving chances to youngsters. Fortunately, because of Lewis's injury, we had to make a defensive substitution last game, which meant his options for making attacking changes were limited. So he had to play with what he had. And that's unfortunately what he could. But coming back to your question about in the midfield and creation, apart from Lewis, Ceballos has shown flashes of ability to create or dictate play. Xhaka was good when he is the only creator in the midfield, because அவன் கூட இருக்கிறவங்க அவ்வளவு தத்தியா இருக்கிறதுனால he is coming, looking pretty good because of that comparison. But in essence, he's not such a great creator. He's average. He can play that second or third pre-ball, but apart from that, nothing great. But apart from that, I think Thomas coming in, we saw how much he dictated the play whenever he had the ball. Second half, if you noticed, the possession of Thomas was actually pretty low. He did not get the ball a lot. First half, he saw the ball a lot more, and we saw the amount of chances that was being created. Second half, because he was not seeing the ball as much, it kind of started drying up, and unfortunately, Ceballos and Xhaka couldn't carry the load. So and that's where we are. We definitely need that number 10 right now. It's so evident. And January, I hope we can get somebody to start creating more pace.
Oh, that ended on a good note, because that was going to be my next question for you, Rohit. இப்போ வந்து நம்ம கிரியேட்டிவிட்டி எதுவும் இல்லைன்னா பேசிட்டு இருக்கோம். We need to score goals. We have a stable defense. Defense is good, but ஒரு stability structure இருந்து we need to score goals to start winning games. Do you see any possibility of this current gameplay improving? அந்த Willian பத்தி பேசணும் இல்லையா? So even Willian can be a number 10. Do you think like that could be tried, and do you see any possibility of this gameplay improving?
See, frankly speaking, Arun, like right now, I'm not seeing any light at the end of the tunnel. I mean, like Willian, Anna, I'm still not convinced that Willian can be our. I mean, like he can be played in the number 10. I would rather like get ESR or someone like Nelson or any youngster to fit in and create some chances for us, like Saka does. Willian Irklo, I mean, like he's a good squad player, but we cannot rely on him to be our number 10 and create chances because yeah, if there is going to be one thing which we are going to struggle this season, that's going to be creativity. That is for sure. That's a known issue. I don't know, like as Arvind said, January are we gonna? But it is like highly improbable that we'll be getting a number 10 in or any creative force in January because winter transfers are usually very very rare, and getting a good player in the mid season is almost next to impossible.
United got Bruno in Jan.
What
We got Alba in Jan.
we had mislanded
They
that
got
time.
Mkhitaryan in January.
நம்ம கிட்ட அப்ப mislanded இருந்தான். That guy is like too good. And Auba was already having some rift with Borussia Dortmund, if you remember, before we signed him. So that made things a little bit easier. So அதான் நம்ம கேம் பிளான் வந்து இப்போதைக்கு it's gonna be the same. We are gonna scrape through. Even if we are gonna win matches, we are not gonna win convincingly. We will win some matches going further because after the next set of 3 matches, like next Man U, அதுக்கப்புறம் Leeds, அதுக்கப்புறம் Wolves, இந்த 3 மேட்ச் கொஞ்சம் டஃபா இருக்க போகுது. அதுக்கப்புறம் வர matches definitely we'll be having more probability of winning than drawing the match. So அப்போ வந்து we may improve our points. பட் டெஃபினெட்லி நம்ம வந்து ரொம்ப ஃப்ளூயிடா அட்டாக் பண்ணி நம்ம வின் பண்ற சான்சஸ் வந்து ஐ எம் நாட் ஏபிள் டு see. கண்டிப்பா அட்லீஸ்ட் ஃபார் த நியர் ஃபியூச்சர் ஐ டோன்ட் திங்க் இட்ஸ் கோனா ஹேப்பன்.
Okay, that's pretty bleak. So அடுத்தது கோல்ஸ் வரல. We are not getting goals. Creativity is a problem. Last season வந்து நம்மளோட லாஸ்ட் சீசன் ஒன்றும் இல்லை, நம்மளோட மெயின் கோல் ஸ்கோரர் அபாமேயாங் தான். But he's playing on the left. Maybe this suits the system. So, but are we missing a trick by not playing him in the center? Should we like move him back to the center now that we're not getting goals? Funny part enna we spoke about this turning into an Ozil sort of a situation. His performance going down once he signs a new contract. Earlier beginning la வந்து sign பண்ணதுக்கு அப்புறம் வந்து we started. I think we spoke about it in the very first episode. So, are we missing a trick here? Should he go back to playing in the center, or like is it suiting the system more that he's playing on the left? Now that we're in need of goals.
I feel like my answer is going to be a little biased over here. I love Abba playing in the middle. Okay. At the same time, like he's a versatile player. I don't think him not scoring goals for like 3 or 4 games is an issue. That where he's playing in the left, we'll just have to wait and see. Because he did have, if you look at it, right, he was dynamic. He was in a lot of different places. He was just not sticking to the left one. But we were a little bit unlucky as well. So I don't think it's that. But I think I would have to go back to your previous point where we were discussing a little bit of like more creativity, people who can like punch through things, and like go like, I'm not expecting like Kevin De Bruyne kind of midfielders, but people who can like have at least like 2 or 3 creative chances that they create in a game, or more, or like what the chances create.
Budget bin KDB.
Yes.
KDB.
See, that's all you need. You have like 2 or 3 people with the other quality, like Pepe, Willian, and even Saka or like Tierney. இதெல்லாம் வந்து compensate பண்ணி you can like you can improve your average in terms of how many creative chances you make. இது யார் இந்த ஸ்டார்ட் சொன்னா, இந்த இதெல்லாம் சொன்னான் அரவிந்த் தான் சொன்ன மாதிரி ஞாபகம் எனக்கு. I think we were like the second or third to last team in chances created last season or something. அந்த மாதிரி ஒரு ஸ்டார்ட் இருக்கும்போது வந்து when Abba can score like so many goals, when you had a little bit more people who can like feed him the ball, get him a little bit more chances, I think the number is going to be consistent when you give him that opportunity, regardless of where he plays, I think.
Okay, but at that point, the guy that is playing the center forward now, our number 9 right now is Lacazette. That one chance that he got, the number of chances that he's missing and all that. This is where we have to weigh in. I feel like when compared to Lacazette,
scored a goal when you watch about it. His goal was ruled out unfairly, but he still scored, right? And he is the sort of player who does like come and clutch in like situations. like big games விளையாடுவான். I mean, I'm not saying he's like an Auba type player, where like every third shot is a goal, you know. But I think it's just a good mix.
Like every third shot is a goal. Is it good enough? நம்ம கிரியேட் பண்ற சான்சஸ்க்கு எவ்ரி தேர்ட் ஷாட் நம்ம கோல் போட்டோம்னா
எவ்ரி தேர்ட் ஷாட் கோல் போட்டோம்னா 3 கேமுக்கு ஒரு கேம் ஜெயிப்போம்.
அதானே இப்ப பாயிண்ட் இருக்கு.
Okay, now moving on. Second game in the last week or so that we've been having, and the second game was the Europa League game. So Europa League la வந்து எங்க வேணா போய் ஆடலாம். எங்க நார்வே, you go to Armenia, Norway, all these places. But பக்கத்துல இருக்கிற அயர்லாந்துல இருக்கிற டீம் தான் we played against this team called Dundalk. First half we were bad, we were pretty bad. ஏதோ ஓசில 2 கோல் போச்சு. But second half we scored a goal. My only thing was it seemed like that, like I said, I told you guys before, இந்த பழைய பார்சலோனா பயன்லாம் வந்து நம்மள அடிக்கிறப்போ அவங்களுக்கு இந்த மாதிரி தான் இருக்கும். ஏய் யாரா இந்த பசங்க எப்படி ஆடுறாங்க அந்த மாதிரி தான் அது ஒரு பாயிண்ட். So what do you guys think were the positives in the game? Like let's forget about the score line and all that. Like I don't think ஒரு boost எதுவுமே வந்து I don't think the players would be taking this thing seriously. Maybe I'm wrong. But outside of that, like as people watching the game, what did you see today that were like you would call like positives? Let's start with your role, the most critical person on the panel.
Yeah, so see, as you said, like the first half until 40 minutes, we were kind of average, bang average. I mean, like below average கூட சொல்லலாம். நம்ம வந்து அந்த மாதிரி ஒரு ஸ்குவாட், அந்த மாதிரி ஒரு டீம் கிட்ட போய் நம்ம அதுவும் எமிரேட்ஸ்ல போய் அவ்வளவு முக்குறோம்னா இட் இஸ் லைக் I mean like no comments on that. But after that
nothing seemed to happen during the first half. Like
it was like playing against some team like Bolton. I mean like Bolton or Stoke, who used to be like sitting back and then physically nammaloda konja stronger ஆகிற team, and we played a lot of youngsters who are not that having that kind of physicality compared to those huge Irishmen. So கண்டிப்பா நம்ம first halfல வந்து கொஞ்சம் grow பண்றதுக்கு கொஞ்சம் டைம் ஆச்சு. But some positive things were there. I mean like I was really impressed by Reece Nelson. எனக்கு வந்து அவன் வந்து he was like a spark. I mean like as you was talking about spark, and the spark வந்து I was able to see from Reece Nelson and Willock வந்து எப்படின்னா வந்து ஒரு பட்டர்ஃப்ளை வந்து ஃப்ளோட் பண்ணிட்டே இருக்கிற மாதிரி இருக்கான். லைக் he's kind of like கொஞ்ச நேரத்தை அவனை பார்த்துட்டே இருப்பான், கொஞ்ச நேரம் ஃப்ரஸ்ட்ரேட்டிங்கா இருக்கும். பட் அவனோட அட்லீஸ்ட் in the final third, the way he turns the ball, the way he comes in and the way he shoots, அதெல்லாம் பார்த்தா it's like really impressive. Like அது கண்டிப்பா அவனுக்கு குடூஸ் கொடுத்தே ஆகணும். I mean நார்மலா அவனை வந்து பார்த்தோன்னா he's like kind of lethargic. That's what I perceive, like kind of lethargic kind of a player அது மாதிரி. But once he gets the ball, கண்டிப்பா அவனுக்கு அந்த டெக்னிக்கல் ப்ரோவஸ் இருக்கு. வில்லக்கு கொஞ்சம் டெவலப் பண்ணோம். We have to kind of develop him. அவ்வளவுதான். And Eddie is like kind of he missed couple of chances before he scored that goal. So he is okay. And பெப்பே வந்து சீரியஸா இந்த மேட்ச் கூட ஸ்கோர் பண்ணனா நம்ம வந்து எதுக்குதான்
அப்படிலாம் சொல்லக்கூடாது. கோல் கேக்குறீங்க, கோல் போட்டாச்சு, அவ்வளவுதான். அதுக்கு மேல பேசக்கூடாது.
நான் திருப்பி ஆரம்பிக்க விரும்பல. சீரியஸா நான் சொல்றேன். நான் சொன்ன மாதிரி அந்த 75 மில்லியன் வந்து அந்த டண்டாக்கு ஒரு கம்ப்ளீட் அந்த ஊரே வாங்கிடலாம்னு நினைக்கிறேன். டீம் ஆபீஸ் எல்லாம் சேர்த்த கூட 22 மில்லியன் வராது அவங்களுக்கு. அந்த டீம் கூட ஓகே. ஐ மீன் லைக் அந்த கோல் ஸ்கோர் பண்றது ஓகே, அக்செப்டட், நல்லதான் ஆடினா. அது வரைக்கும் கொஞ்சம் டீசென்டா ஆடினா. ஐ ஹோப் திஸ் கிவ்ஸ் ஹிம் கான்ஃபிடன்ஸ். நம்ம எல்லாருக்குமே வந்து பாசிட்டிவ் தான் நம்ம பேசணும்னா இந்த மாதிரி ஒரு சின்ன சின்ன வின்ஸ் வந்து ஈவன் அகேன்ஸ்ட் வெரி லோ ஆப்போசிஷன் ஸ்டில் இட் வில் பூஸ்ட் அவர் பாசிட்டிவ் ஆரா அமாங் த டீம். லைக் அதை வச்சு நம்ம we can build on that. Like இன்னைக்கு வந்து Oba and Laka were like relaxing in the stands. That was good to see. I mean we didn't have the necessity to go and call them. So அதாவது கொஞ்சம் பரவாயில்ல. So that மத்தவங்களும் இருக்காங்க who can share the responsibility, who can score goals. அது மாதிரி இருக்கும்போது it is good. So அந்த ஒரு விஷயத்துல டெஃபினெட்லி இன்னைக்கு இந்த மேட்ச்ல பாத்தீங்கன்னா எல்என்இ was doing only one thing. அவனுக்கு வந்து I seriously don't understand. இந்த ஆப்போசிஷன் எல்லாம் ரொம்ப வீக்கான ஆப்போசிஷன். நான் அப்பதான் வந்து உனக்கு தெரிஞ்சது ஒன்னே ஒண்ணுதானா,
only side pass தான். தலைவர் சைட் பாஸ் தவிர எதுவுமே பண்ண மாட்டான்.
வெரி குட். அண்ட் ரூலர்சன் வந்து அவனுக்கு எது பாலா போலாம் அந்த பக்கம், ஆனா வந்த போல அவன் கரெக்டா ஹேண்டில் பண்ணான். அவன் வந்து கொஞ்சம் டீசெண்டா இருந்தான். அந்த 2 கிராஸ் வந்தது, he was able to collect it before punching it. So அந்த விஷயம் வந்து that is good. Like Leno usually punches it out. Sometimes it goes to the opposite player and he scores a goal. That is different thing. But Ronaldson was okay, good. பார்க்கறதுக்கு சின்ன பையன் மாதிரி இருக்கான், but he is good, decent.
So ஒரு ரியலா ஒரு டெஸ்ட் ரொனால்டனுக்கு ஒரு ரியலா ஒரு டெஸ்ட் வந்த மாதிரியே இல்ல. Like he hardly had anything to do. Like I don't think he even had one save to make. I might be wrong. Nothing. So அதே பாயிண்ட் தான் இப்ப திருப்பி Prashna, like coming back to the same youngsters thing, like we saw how these guys like Nelson and like forget about Eddie, like Nelson and Willock in particular, they both were really, really good today. I know it's not like a great opposition, but you know, kadacha chance that they are performing at least. So obviously these guys would benefit more from actually playing more games, you know, a continuous string of games. அதுதான் வந்து they are not getting it at this point. So இந்த மாதிரி ஒரு டீம்ஸ் லைக் டீம்ஸ் லைக் Dundalk or like even like Mold அந்த நம்ம குரூப்ல இருக்கிற டீம்லாம் வந்து எதுவுமே வந்து நத்திங் none of these teams are big. So இந்த மாதிரி இருக்கிறப்போ வந்து this is coming back to the same point. Since these guys are not getting as many games, which is again not helping in their improvement. அதனால தான் நான் திருப்பி I'm going back to the same thing. Should they be played more in the league where the opposition is better? They play better quality players and they have higher chance of improving.
Going back to your initial sentence, இது வந்து அயர்லாந்து இருக்கிற ஏதோ ஒரு டீம். There's like consequences to like playing bad. There like advantages to playing well over here. Okay, I'm not saying they did not have chances. Like it's a long season. They will have their chances, and once they take their chances in the league or at least playing other or FA Cup அந்த மாதிரி வந்து என்ன சொல்றது சப்ஸ்டான்ஷியல் ஆப்பனன்ஸ் கூட விளையாடும் போது தட்ஸ் when they gain experience. இதுல வர கான்ஃபிடன்ஸ் வந்து நல்லதுதான். எனி கான்ஃபிடன்ஸ் இஸ் குட் கான்ஃபிடன்ஸ், பட் there's a whole level or like என்ன சொல்றது ஒரு பெடிகிரி டிஃபரன்ஸ் இருக்கு ரெண்டு டீம்ஸ்க்கும். ஓகே, பிரீமியர் லீக் டீம்ஸ் அண்ட் லைக் இந்த மாதிரி யூரோப்பா கப் டீம்ஸ் வருது. ஸோ ஐ ஃபீல் லைக் imagine going up to a Premier League team, ஓகேவா, with Willock and Reece Nelson and Eddie. நம்மளுக்கே கொஞ்சம் ஒரு மாதிரி தான் இருக்கும், சரி ஓகே இந்த பசங்களால விளாட முடியுமா அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு. ஸோ ஐ டோன்ட் வாண்ட் டு லைக் put them in that kind of situation because it like can take away their confidence. But if you have Reece Nelson who's coming in probably at like the 70th minute, okay, then he has a chance to prove himself. Like high energy or when the players are tired out or like they've been running about for a little bit. I think those kind of substitutions make sense, like if you want to give them a chance. And once they come on, like they should prove themselves. Like அந்த ஹங்கர் இருக்கணும். இப்போ வந்து மிஸ்டேக்ஸ் பண்ண உடனே சில வந்து பால் போய் எடுக்கணும், அந்த ஒர்க் ரேட் இருக்கணும், அந்த இதெல்லாம் வந்து நிறைய விஷயம் இருக்கு. ஸோ ஐ திங்க் இட் இஸ் டெஃபினெட்லி அ குட் திங் தட் இந்த மாதிரி வந்து லோவர் ரேங்க் டீம்ஸோட விளையாடும் போது they get a chance and they are like proving it. இந்த கேமே கொஞ்சம் யோசிச்சு பாருங்க. I did not see the whole game. I caught the highlights of it. The first chance was a keeper mistake, I think. Okay, the next goal was a Pepe rebound where he was just like Willock on the easier wounded. Right, there was nobody covering the defender who was like blocking it. Okay, so these kind of chances that you won't get against Premier League teams. Okay, it'll be far like very like, few and far between them. Okay, so you won't see the kind of result that you saw today. That's the only difference. I'm not saying they shouldn't get their chances. They should come on as a impact substitute. Number Ox like he comes on, he was really young. Like same thing Walcott was also doing. Like when you brought on Ox, like in the early days, you know he was going to do something. He was going to run at players. That's what I want youngsters to do. So in the youngsters lay on the Reece, Willock, and Nketiah. Okay, when you bring them on in the 70th minute in a Premier League game, tell me which one of them will do what Ox did in that time. That's what I'm saying. That's the difference.
I cannot think of.
That's why I'm saying it's fair whatever Arteta is doing.
That's a valid point. So last point about this game, last discussion about this game. Arvind, we saw Balogun play for the first time, and on the Vandala, though he didn't have a lot to do, he didn't have a lot to play for. We did see flashes of what he could really do, the pace, his power and strength. So, two questions. Did this game show why Eddie shouldn't be starting over Lacazette? And is Balogun like going to be someone replacing Eddie very soon in the team if we manage to hold on to him?
I think the first one, even if Laka had played, he would have scored. Dundalk really was soft opposition, and we saw how many chances Eddie had. Statistically, this game we had 25 shots. That is for us 3 games combined together. That's the amount of shots we had. And our passing accuracy was 92%. We have not seen over 85% in the entire league last season. For comparison. We played against a very subpar side, and இன்னைக்கு விளையாடின டீமோட we cannot compare who is who. But to your point, I do agree. Balogun, I loved his pace. I loved his first touch. It did not go and fall in the midfield line. அவ்வளோ தூரமா Lacazette first touch மாதிரி போகவே இல்லை. And I think if he's in his final year of his contract, and he's publicly said he's not going to resign. But however, I think if Arteta manages to convince Balogun, I think I see him as a long-term replacement to Lacazette. Lacazette is 30 or 31 right now, and he's entering his final 2 years of his contract. We should have sold him last off-season, if you had asked me. But then we would have been very thin up front, considering Martinelli is still not back. But with Martinelli coming back, Balogun showing this much of brilliance, Lacazette getting old, and to the earlier point about not playing youngsters, and because they would lose confidence by missing shots and not tracking back. I think pretty much that's the story right now. We've been missing shots, not tracking back, and Lacazette last game Leicester, he would lose the ball, try to track back half pekta, and end up getting a yellow card. Like, that was so unnecessary. First touch ஒழுங்கா பண்ணிருக்கலாம், இல்ல at least you could have just not gotten that yellow card, which would have been so detrimental if there was some other problem, because always on a yellow is very risky. But having said that, I think I saw a lot of positives in this game, especially. We also got a chance to see our new goalkeeper in action, which is good. And I'm not going to take this game as anything but an aberration. But I was really confident, to get the 3 points, look at these amazing stats, and, see the Arsenal that I saw 5 years ago.
Okay, positive. Okay. Usually this game that we're going to be talking about now is called the box office blockbuster. Usually, especially for people of our age growing up, you look at the calendar, and these two were the games that you always look for, like United, Arsenal United. And we're now going to OT. So just a quick fact, OT la நம்ம லாஸ்டா win பண்ணது 2006. I think you and I saw the game together too. I think we saw the game together too.
I really like
Adebayor goal, Fabregas pass, கிட்டத்தட்ட 15 years ஆச்சு நம்ம வந்து ஓடில win பண்ணி. And we are going after a run of 3 consecutive losses in the league without having scored any, more than 1 goal. That's all we scored in 3 games so far. We lost to Liverpool 3-1. We lost to City 1-0, right? So, what are your thoughts going into the game? Rohit, இப்போ இந்த யுனைடெட் கேம் தான் வந்து நம்ம ஃபர்ஸ்ட் முன்னெல்லாம் நான் ஃபர்ஸ்ட் இந்த கேம் தான் எல்லாமே இது பண்ணி பார்ப்போம். இப்போ வந்து எப்படி வாழ்ந்தவர் இப்படி ஆயிட்டாருங்கிற மாதிரி வந்து அவங்களாவது பரவாயில்ல, நம்ம இன்னும் பயங்கர மோசமான நிலைமையில இருக்கோம்.
இல்ல, இது எப்படி இருந்ததுன்னா, it used to be like class between 2 heavyweights, right? இது வந்து இட்ஸ் லைக் as if like ஒரு வேர்ல்ட் வார் மாதிரி, இங்கிலாந்து வர்சஸ் பிரான்ஸ் மாதிரி, அது மாதிரி ஒரு இது இருந்தது. இப்போ என்னன்னா, இட்ஸ் லைக் a pillow fight. அதோட இம்பார்ட்டன்ஸ், அதோட இதுவே வந்து கம்ப்ளீட்டா குறைஞ்சிச்சு. பிகாஸ் போத் டீம்ஸ் ஆர் நாட் பீன் பெர்ஃபார்மிங் டு தி லெவல் which they are expected to perform. I mean, நம்ம பரவாயில்ல, அவங்க இன்னும் நம்மளோட மட்டமாகறதா ஆடிருந்தாங்க, அவங்கள ஏத்தி விடவே கூடாது. பட் எனிவேஸ், நம்மளோட ரெக்கார்ட் வந்து ஓட்டில ரொம்ப போரா இருந்தது. ஐ மீன் இருக்கு. ஸோ ஹேவிங் செட் தட், எனக்கு வந்து ரொம்ப ஸ்லைட் ஹோப், ஐ மீன் ஹோப்னு சொல்ல முடியாது. தோக்கிறது நம்ம கொஞ்சம் மேபி ஒரு 2-1 தோப்போம், அவ்வளவுதான். ஸோ I don't know, maybe 3-1 or 2-1. So this is going to be my prediction. வின் பண்ற சான்சஸ் வந்து ஸ்லைட்டா தான் இருக்கு. எனக்கு இன்னும் கான்பிடன்ஸ் இல்ல நம்ம வின் பண்ணுவோம் போயிட்டு ஆட்டோல. மேபி ஒரு டிரா வந்தா அது அபருவோம், பட் வின் பண்றது ஹைலி டவுட்ஃபுல். So I'm going with 2-1.
Minimum. And any formation changes, lineup changes you predict?
Yeah, good question. So I'll not be surprised if Arteta goes back to 3-4-3. I mean, or maybe like he'll play like 5 at the back, 3 in the center and 2 in the front. அது மாதிரி கூட ஆடுற சான்சஸ் இருக்கு. ஏன்னா அவன் வந்து கம்ப்ளீட்டா வந்து அவங்களோட அட்டாக்க வந்து ராஷ்வர்ட் அண்ட் எவ்ரிவனோட அட்டாக்க வந்து ஸ்டாப் பண்றதுக்கு வேணா ஆடல சான்சஸ் இருக்கு. ஆனா நம்ம ஸ்கோர் பண்ற சான்சஸ் வந்து ரொம்ப கஷ்டம்.
என்ன காரணம் அப்படின்னா லைக் இந்த ஃபர்கசன் எராக்கு அப்புறம் யுனைடெட் have lost so many games to like lower teams like Brighton அந்த மாதிரி வந்து மொக்க டீம்லாம் தோத்துருக்காங்க. And we've never gotten and never been there and won anything. Which is what is like super frustrating.
Your predictions when you feel like what do you
I'm stuck between I'm going to be a little bit positive with Arteta. I'm stuck between a 1-1 draw for us to probably a 2-1 win for us.
1-1 to 2-1. Wow. பட் நம்ம வின் பண்ணிருக்கோம். லைக் அவரோட பாசிட்டிவிட்டி நான் இன்னும் அரவிந்த் கிட்டே போல, எனக்கு அதுக்குள்ள ஒரு வின் எல்லாம் கிடைச்சிருச்சு. அவன் என்ன சொல்ல போறானோ சொல்லுவான்னு நினைக்கிறேன்.
அந்த லைனப் பத்தி எனக்கு தெரியல. இட்ஸ் ஹார்ட் டு கெஸ் வேர் ஆர்டெட்டா will land, பட் ஐ திங்க் நீங்க சொன்ன மாதிரி வந்து 3-4-3 போறதுக்கு ரொம்ப ஹை சான்சஸ் இருக்கு. பட் அகைன் ஐ டோன்ட் நோ, லூயிஸ் fit on the next game இல்ல
லூயிஸ் is not playing.
Yeah, so
not playing. Next match
he's missing United.
Yeah, he's missing United. I think கொஞ்சம் டஃபா தான் இருக்கும். பட்
then we cannot go 3-4-3 like you. அப்போ வந்து 3-4-3 போற சான்சஸ் ரொம்ப கம்மி.
கண்டிப்பா
பேக் ஃபோர்ல முஸ்தாஃபியும் கேப்ரியலுமா, அது சோலோவா கேப்ரியல் ஆடலாம். முஸ்தாஃபி தேவையில்லை. வேஸ்ட் ஆஃப் ஸ்பேஸ்.
எனக்கு தெரிஞ்ச வரைக்கும் என்ன போடுவான்னா வந்து பேக் ஃபோர் ஷாக்கா அண்ட் எல்னானியும் போட்டுருவான்னு நினைக்கிறேன். சென்டர்ல பார்க்கலாம் சொல்லக்கூடாது.
அப்படியே மொத்தமா படுக்கிறதா போகாம. ஆனா யுனைடோட பஸ் பார்க் பண்ணதெல்லாம் கொஞ்சம் மனசு கஷ்டமா தான் இருக்கும் பார்த்தோம்னா. இப்ப பழைய யுனைடெட் டீம் கூட சொல்லலாம், இப்ப இருக்கிற யுனைடெட் டீம் கூட பஸ் பார்க் பண்றதெல்லாம் கொஞ்சம் மனசுக்கு ரொம்ப கஷ்டமா இருக்கும்.
எனக்கு என்ன இருந்தாலும் ஓகே, எனக்கு திருப்பி நாய் கோல் போடக்கூடாது அகைன்ஸ்டா.
அதாவது லூயிஸ் இல்ல, அதனால கொஞ்சம் சான்ஸ் குறையும், நீ சந்தோஷப்படுவ. ஆனா நான் இருக்கேன்டான்னு முஸ்தாஃபி வெளியே வரும். சும்மா அந்த ஏரியா பக்கம் போனாலே கீழே வரும். ப்ரூனோ ஒண்ணுமே பக்கத்துல போய் நிப்பாங்க.
வாய வேற வச்சிட்டியா நீ? ஐயோ, வாய வச்சாலே நடக்கும்டா.
வெரி ஹை பாசிபிலிட்டி ஆஃப் ஹேப்பனிங்.
பெனால்டி ஒண்ணே அவன் ப்ரூனோட்ட கிடைக்கட்டுமே, அவன் மூஞ்சிலே வந்து
ப்ரூனோ பெனால்டி எல்லாம் கன்ஃபார்ம்டா. ப்ரூனோ பெனால்டி கன்ஃபார்ம்டு.
ஆனா ஃபைனல் ப்ரெடிக்ஷன் வந்து I'm leaning between 1-1 and 2-1. இதுல ரெண்டுல ஏதாவது ஒன்று தான் நடக்கும்னு தோணுது எனக்கு.
கோல் ஸ்கோரர்ஸ்
எனக்கு தெரிஞ்ச வரைக்கும் அப்பா கண்டிப்பா ஸ்கோர் பண்ணுவான். நெக்ஸ்ட் வந்து பிட்வீன் somewhere in the midfield or Saka. Let's see, I don't know. Second goals or வந்து smash and grab மாதிரி தான் இருக்கும்.
Smash and grab, I'll be happy with the smash and grab. அரவிந்த் நீங்க சொல்லுங்க அரவிந்த்.
Okay. I think we're going to stick with the back four. We're not going to a back five. United is a very counter-attacking team, and avangaloda back five vechi low block viளையாடுறது doesn't make sense at all. We're going to hamper our creating abilities too. And number two, I am going for a 2-0 victory, and I am calling Oba and one defender to score. I don't know.
Everybody is clapping.
Which defender?
ரெண்டு பேர் வச்சு நல்லா ஜாலியா சொல்லிட்டு இருக்கேன். நீங்க வந்து 2-0 ன்னு என்னெல்லாம் அடிச்சிருக்கீங்க நீங்க?
2-0 clean sheet, away clean sheet ஓட வரோம் நம்ம ரிட்டர்ன். It's going to be either 2-0 or 0-0. I'll tell you.
இப்போதான் நான் முஸ்தாஃபி, ப்ரூனோ பெர்னாண்டஸ் அதெல்லாம் சொல்லிட்டு இருக்கோம் கஷ்டப்பட்டு.
அரவிந்த் அதை பத்தி
சொல்லிட்டு இருக்கோம் நாங்க.
அதெல்லாம் கண்டுக்கிறதே கிடையாது. I blocked the noise. Arteta சொல்ற மாதிரி. So I think there is a lot of positives from the two games that we played against the top six side. Supposed top six side in City and Liverpool. We created a lot. We did not give too many chances. We were really disciplined in the back. And although we did have a back five there, when we were attacking on the transition, we were only on a back four. So we did transition pretty well, and that was good to watch. And I think that is going to be the same way here. I think we're going to see Oba get back to the goals, and I'm calling on a center or somebody in the back four to score a goal as well. because last season it was Pepe and Socrates. The last time we faced United, but unfortunately there was a fourth though. But anyway, that's what I'm calling. I also think Mustafi is going to, have a pretty clinical performance. He's due one. He's not had a good performance in a very long time. And law of
அந்த long time ரொம்ப long time டா. அந்த long time ரொம்ப long time டா.
Actually, to be
fair, Everton training gameல தான்டா நல்லா ஆடி இருக்கான்.
To be fair, Mustafi when Arteta took over from Emery, it was a combination of Mustafi and Callum Chambers. And அங்கேந்து Chambers got injured the very first game Arteta played him. And adukaprom Mustafi slotted in Chambers' position for like 4 or 5 games, and he was one of the back four in against Liverpool, against City, and against City when we went to the semi-final. He got injured very late in that game, and unfortunately, otherwise he was pretty okay.
4-2-0.
2-0, yeah. Mustafi
10-10 game.
என்னது?
Mustafi 10-10 game.
10-10 Mustafi சிரிப்போம் அதுக்கு. But Mustafi standards, I think he's going to have a pretty good game. When I say pretty good game, no mistakes, clean in whatever he's doing. Probably just a yellow card for and just to keep all the odds away. ஒரு yellow customary yellow card வாங்கிட்டு
district ஒரு yellow card வாங்கிட்டு.
I think that's what we should be looking at.
Okay.
போல் பால் கிரியேட் பண்ணடா. லைக் will Bruno score a penalty? அது மாதிரி ஒரு கிரியேட் பண்ணி விடு.
அதுக்கு எதுக்கு போல்? Bruno score a penalty எதுக்கு போல்? நம்மளே இல்ல ஆப்ஷன் போட்டுடலாம் அதுக்கு.
Bruno has missed his last 2 kicks penalty la.
Oh, will Bruno score a penalty or get a penalty? Question ரொம்ப முக்கியம்.
Get a penalty.
அது அப்பனா எதுக்கு போல்லாம் போடாது நம்மளுக்கே தெரியுது. அதுக்கு எதுக்கு போல்லாம் போட்டுக்கிட்டு. Okay, so far we're 1 defeat, 1 draw or win, 1 clean sheet win. Okay, so now I'm leaning more towards a draw or a defeat. I'm leaning more towards mostly a defeat. I think it'll be a 1-0 or 2-1 that we'll lose. Maybe we'll go get a smash and grab goal, but not be good enough. And 3-4-3. I see that happening as well. So I mean, I don't know. I'll be happy to be proven wrong, but I see us losing this game. So I shouldn't have ended it on this note. I should have ended with Arvin's positive vibes going into the game. But maybe Arvin, one more prediction. What's the score going to be?
2-0. I'll carry the torch from today till Sunday.
That's good. So this was a great episode. We had a lot of good things to discuss about, and we actually cleared maybe what we thought was few of the things that were affecting the team. So it was great having you guys on this episode. Thanks a lot, and we'll be back next week with a new pod. So thanks a lot, guys.
Thank you, boys. Come on, you Gunners.
Thanks a lot for being with us for this episode of Yo Pierre, your weekly Arsenal Tanglish podcast. We'll be back again next week with more interesting topics, so stay tuned.